Hey guys, it's Brett, your Scentsy Fragrance Consultant. I'm here with my warm reviews from the 10 new Fall/Winter 2025 fragrances that are going to be in the catalog starting this Monday, September 1st. So if you saw our first sniffs, we did two first sniffs. We did the first sniffs of the testers, because we got the transition testers in our SFR giveaways from SFR, Scentsy Family Reunion. So we did first sniffs of those, and then I also ordered the bars. So then we got the bars, we did a second sniffs, I guess you could call them, of just the bars. So it was the first sniffs of the bars, but second sniffs of the fragrances in general. So we did those, and then I warmed through them, just finished them a few days ago. So now I'm doing my warm review. I was going to try to get this up a few days before this, but I just didn't have time. So I'm getting them out today. At least it's a couple of days before they go on sale, so you can hear my thoughts. So as usual, I'm going to start with my least favorite to my favorite. So number 10, hopefully I don't lose track of the numbers, because when you have 10 bars you kind of lose track of what number you're on. Number 10 is Wild Pine and Linen. So Wild Pine and Linen is crisp air, lavender, oak moss, white pine, and clean linen. So kind of a lot going on with this bar. So when warming this bar, when I first warmed it, I kind of thought it wasn't too bad. I didn't love it, but it was kind of okay. I had it going in the downstairs bathroom. I had 4 cubes going in the downstairs bathroom. I was like, it's okay, but I didn't love it. And then the more I kept smelling it, I'm like, I don't know if I really like this or not. So the notes are so like all over the place with this one. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I get the most of. I want to say maybe it's that oak moss and the lavender, but the mixture of it is not my favorite. It's just a little, it doesn't quite blend well to me. It's not awful, but it's not great either. The white pine, there's just a little bit of pine in here, and when they always say white something, it's always like a lighter version of that. So pine, like I've said before, but if they throw that white in front of it, it just means it's not going to be that strong of whatever note is after the white. So it's white pine, so it's just a little pine, but it's not a real strong pine. There's a touch of a pine, but it's nothing like a Christmas pine. This doesn't give me any kind of Christmas tree vibes or Christmas feels or anything like that. There could be just a little bit of a pine. Clean linen, there might be some of that in there. I feel like it's just that mixture of the linen, that pine, that oak moss, some of that lavender. I just don't really think it blends very well. It's just kind of all over the place. I don't think they go that great together. But like I said, at first it was kind of okay, and then the more I smelled, the more I kept going in there thinking, I don't think I really like this so much. And then I actually still have it going in there right now. It's been in there forever. I just had never changed it. I'm really bad with changing the wax downstairs. I just kind of let it go and don't change it. Upstairs I change it way more than downstairs, because we don't go downstairs all that much. But it's been in there for like 5 days, maybe 6 days today. Might be the 6th day. And I go in there now. I can still smell it, but it's not very good at all. It smells really bad now. Like I need to take that out of there, because it doesn't smell good at all now. So yeah, I'm just not super crazy with this one. It was a good performer though, I will say that. Went in there, it was an easy, like probably 8 out of 10. Really good, smelled it really well. Like I said, I can still even smell it now, even though it doesn't smell good at all now. Even worse than it did at the beginning. Well, not at the very beginning, because like I said, at the very beginning it somewhat was okay to me, but then it just kept getting worse. The more I smelled it, and the longer it went. So yeah, this isn't really for me. I don't know, maybe if you like some kind of pine, linen, little pine, maybe kind of lavender type of sense, maybe. I don't know if you'd like it or not. I just didn't care all that much for it, so that wouldn't be a repurchase for me. Alright, number 9 is Lavender Woods, and this is lavender, cedarwood, and amber. So when I warmed this, it was really light. Really light. I didn't get much out of it at all. That's why it's number 9, because it just was so light. It was like a 3 out of 10 maybe. Yeah, I'm watching the hummingbirds again. Our hummingbirds are really all over the place. They came late this year, but now they're like everywhere. They weren't anywhere like the first part of the summer, like I said before, but now they're all over the place. So, yeah. What I did smell out of that 3 out of 10, I had this going downstairs in Brad's salon, 4 cubes in that room. I just got a hint of it, and it wasn't terrible what I smelled. So you kind of get a little lavender and some cedarwood, some amber. I would say all that, really. I would probably say amber and cedarwood more, just a little touch of lavender. It's not lavender heavy though. So if you don't like lavender, I think you'd be okay with this, even though you don't really smell it very well. Though in general, it's just not a strong scent. Yeah, I really struggled to smell this. I went in there and I kept trying to smell it, and I just couldn't. But I didn't put, maybe if I would have put more cubes in the warmers, put this whole bar in there, maybe I would have smelled it, but I didn't try that. It was just real light. Like I said, 3 out of 10. And the scent in general was just kind of okay. Maybe if it was stronger, I might have liked it a little better. Because on cold, I don't mind it. I know a lot of people aren't liking this one. I don't mind it on cold anyway, but on warm, it was just so light. But it wasn't undetectable, but it definitely needed to be stronger for my liking. Which is way too, 3 out of 10, no. For me, unless I absolutely love the scent, I could maybe get away with it being like a 4 to 5 out of 10. But if it's 3 or lower, that's just too low for me. So, not a repurchase for me on that one. But I'll warm the other 4 cubes. Maybe I'll try it in the bedroom, see if it does any better in the bedroom, maybe. I don't know. Alright, number 8 is Blankets of Love. This is Sheer Violet, Cotton Blossoms, and Comforting Woods. So, when warming, this was nice. It was nice. It was a pretty, it's one of those kind of like, I mean, it says Blankets of Love, so it's kind of like the, you know, fuzzy blanket, jammy time, those kind of bedroom, you know, blankets, laundry kind of scent, but not like clean cotton laundry, like fuzzy blanket type of laundry, those kind of scents. But this isn't exactly like those other ones I mentioned. There's something different about this, which I think is maybe that, I don't really know what's different so much about this. Maybe the violet in here, so it's a little touch more floral than some of those other type of fuzzy blanket type of scents. Or maybe the woods. There's just a touch of woods. It's not real woodsy. But yeah, and the cotton blossoms, I mean, yeah, you can kind of get that because it's kind of a laundry blanket. So that kind of blanket could be a little, the cotton blossoms could give it a little laundry feel without it being straight up like, you know, clothesline or cleaning breeze or whatever. So the violet gives a little floral and then a little touch of that woods. It was nice, but I like all those other scents better that I mentioned, like the fuzzy blanket, jammy time. There's a lot of those type of scents I like better than this. But this was a little different than those, so that made it a little unique. So that kind of made it different. And then I feel like I had this going in the master bedroom, master bath, the whole bar. It wasn't real strong for me. I'd say it's out of 10, it was probably like a 4 to a 5. It kind of maybe reached the 5. But I felt like I wanted to be just a little stronger. It just, for this scent, yeah, I mean, you don't want this to be like a 9 out of 10 for this type of scent, but I feel like I want to be just a little bit stronger, and it just was kind of, it wasn't doing a whole lot for me. It was not, I was thinking it was pretty, but it was a little subtle. A lot of these, I feel like some of these were nice, pleasant, but subtle, but nothing I would repurchase again. Quite a few of these were like that for me. This was one of those. I enjoyed it. It was nice. Could have been a little stronger. Pleasant. Didn't love it. Not a repurchase. Didn't wow me. Didn't do a lot for me. But I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. So yeah, that's that. Not a repurchase. Blankets of Love. Alright, number 7. Golden Sunflower Fields. This is Red Apple, Fields of Hay, and Fresh Picked Sunflowers. So when I warmed this, I liked it. It was nice. I definitely get the apple. You get the apple for sure. And you do get some hay. You get that kind of a hay feel. That kind of like a, it's really hard to describe the hay scent. It's kind of not green, not really earthy. There's just that kind of straw hay. It's just really hard to describe hay, the scent of hay. But it was in there. And then the fresh picked sunflowers. Yeah, you get a little bit of sunflower And there, although I don't think it's really like scarlet sunflower, it's not really like that either. But on cold, I said it kind of reminded me of hayrides a little bit. Not warming it. It didn't really, maybe just a touch because of the apple and a little bit of hay, but I like hayrides way better than this. I really like hayrides. Hayrides leans a little more towards like autumn road trip a little bit. This isn't like that to me on warm. It just mostly was apple and, you know, a little bit of that hay and then some floral sunflower in there. Definitely was fall-like, but again, this was like the other couple ones I just mentioned. It was like this one got a little bit stronger than those last few. It was like a 5 to a 6, maybe 6, 5.5 to 6, somewhere around there. But I felt like I wanted it a little bit stronger, and it was just kind of okay. It was just nice, okay. Again, pleasant, but nothing I would repurchase. It just didn't wow me much. So yeah, but everybody's different. Watch different reviews. I've heard a lot of people love these and some of these other ones. So, and everybody, it performs different in everybody's house. But for me, that was just not a repurchase for me on that either. All right, where are we at? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 6 is Emerald Pear Blossom. Emerald Pear, White Cranberry, and Amber Blossom. So on warming, I ended up liking this. On cold, I think I wasn't, if I remember correctly, I didn't love this on cold so much, but warming I liked it a lot better than I did on cold. Yeah, and this was a good performer on this one. So I had this going, did I say where I had golden sunflower fields? I had this warming in the master bath, if I didn't tell you that. Emerald Pear Blossom I had going in the half bath, 4 cubes. And it did really good in there. And I actually really liked this. So yeah, there is pear in there, but, and like I said on my first sniffs, it's not your typical pear. I smell it, but it's not like the pear that I'm totally used to. It's something different about it. I don't know if it's the mixture of that cranberry with it, so it makes it seem different, because you kind of get that cranberry too, but again, that's not exactly the cranberry that I'm kind of used to either. Maybe it's just that mixture of that cranberry and that pear that makes it, both of them seem a little different. Or it's that amber blossom in there that's going with it all, and so it doesn't smell like straight up pear or like pear you're normally used to, because of all the notes that pear and the cranberry and amber blossom mixed together. It's nice though. It gives you this really nice smell. So yeah, it's like fruity but not overly fruity. Cranberry, amber, but it's not real perfumey either, because sometimes amber gives you real perfuminess. Yeah, all these hummingbirds are all over the place. Yeah, it's just really good. It's really hard to describe this one. I can't compare this to anything else really. It does not bring, you know, a lot of times I'll say it totally reminds me of something. I'll either remember it, lots of times I'll think it reminds me of something and I cannot remember for the life of me what it is it reminds me of, but this one does not remind me of anything. Not to me anyway. I cannot pinpoint anything that I could say it's similar to. No, it's very unique to me, and I enjoyed it. Would I repurchase it? Not sure about this one. We're starting to get in the middle where I maybe would have purchased them, but I'm not positive. I maybe would. I have 4 cubes though, so mine might be okay with just the 4 cubes. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll try the rest of the 4 cubes and see if I really like it again, then maybe I would get another bar. I probably wouldn't get more than like maybe 1 more bar. But yeah, I did enjoy that. So this Emerald Pear Blossom, did I say the throw on this was probably, it did really good? I'd say like 8, 8.5 out of 10. It was really strong. So yeah. Alright, Old Fashioned Evening is number 6. Are we number 6? Wait, I'm losing track in the middle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. Number 5 is Old Fashioned Evening. Winter Cherry, Vanilla Orchid, and Sandalwood. So, yeah, when warming, this was nice. And I did like it on cold too. Warming, I will say that cherry, on cold, the cherry, especially when you have the bar wax still in here, now that the wax is out of it, it's died down a little bit. But when you smell it on cold, when there's actually wax in the bar, it actually is really, really a really strong cherry scent. But when I warmed it, that cherry note wasn't quite as strong as it was on cold. It kind of died down. It was a little more calmer on warm. It wasn't quite as, how do you want to describe that cherry? Very fruity cherry, really zingy cherry kind of. On cold it was like that, but it wasn't quite as zingy on warm, but it was still there. That sandalwood really came out on warm. I didn't get it so much on cold. Even now smelling it, I don't pick it up so much on cold. A little bit undertone of it, but when it warms, that really comes out with that cherry. The cherry kind of calms down. It's not quite as zingy, and the sandalwood bumps up and comes out more. It's nice though. Vanilla orchid, there maybe a touch of that, maybe a touch of a little floral in there mixed with it, but it was nice. I liked it. It wasn't like a complete wow for me, but I did like it. And the throw on this, I had this going downstairs, by the way, in the open area where you have a little, I always say rec room because it's kind of an open area where you have like a, you can put like a, we have a bed in there now and a TV. We used to have a couch, so you can have whatever. There's no door. And in the hallway there, I have another warmer. So I have like 3 warmers. No, I have 4 warmers. I have 3 warmers in the little rec room area and 1 warmer in the hallway. So I did 2 cubes in each of those 4 warmers. So I did the whole bar. Yeah, so I had going down there. Throw was about, this was a medium, I'd say. About a 6, 6.5, maybe somewhere around there. It did up pretty good. Maybe thought maybe it could be a little bit stronger, but it did pretty good. Like I said, didn't completely wow me, but would I repurchase it again? I think I would maybe repurchase another bar of that. So that's Old Fashioned Evening. Alright. Number 4. Velvet Cashmere Woods. This is creamy cashmere, velvet vanilla, and sheer woods. Oh, this is really good on warm. Yeah, it's really pretty on cold, and warm is just as nice. Yeah, Brad didn't care much for this. He thought it was kind of okay, but he didn't really care all that much for it. I really liked it. And then on warm, I liked it too. So it is one of those creamy cashmere scents. That's very cashmere. It says velvet vanilla. I can see that it's like it got a velvetiness to it. A velvety vanilla. You know, sheer woods is next. It's got that sheer, like I said before on cold, it's the sheer, velvety, creamy cashmere. Those words all describe it really well. So the sheer woods, there's a little undertone of woods, but it's not like a woodsy scent really by any means. It's more of a cashmere scent, but that, you know, the woods in there just gives it that little bit of a, grounds it a little bit kind of with that woods. But it's so velvety. It is creamy cashmere, velvety vanilla. It's not a creamy vanilla, but it's a velvety vanilla. It's not a creamy vanilla, creamy cashmere, but not a creamy vanilla, if that makes sense. Really pretty, really elegant, really just nice, really nice. It was, I had this going, by the way, in the Scentsy room. Did the whole bar in the Scentsy room. It was, I would say, a medium throw. A light medium, maybe. I would say probably like a, I'm going to say a 5 out of 10. Just kind of right in the middle a little bit. I kind of wish maybe it was a little bit stronger, but you wouldn't want this one real strong. I wouldn't want it like to it. I wouldn't want it like an 8 or higher. Maybe I would have preferred it to have been at least maybe a 6.5 to 7 would have been nice maybe, but it was more like a 5. I would at least maybe like 6, 6.5. I could totally smell it in there though, so, and it was really nice. I just kept thinking maybe I wish it was just a little bit stronger for this type of scent, but not too strong, because then it would have just been too much for this type of scent. So this kind of scent I think is good at like maybe the 6.5-ish kind of range, maybe up to 7. But I did really enjoy it. Really pretty. Just the scent was just really gorgeous. So I think I would definitely get this again. I think I would probably warm this in the bedroom though the next time, because it was such beautiful scent. All right, number 3. We're in the top 3. These top 3 are easily probably my favorites, especially the top 2. So White Oak Woodland is number 3. So this is Velvet Plum, Creamy Sandalwood, and White Oak. So on cold sniff, this was my favorite on cold sniff, and it went to number 3 on warm. So when I warmed it, it was good. Yeah, oh, it's so good. I get the plum quite a bit. I'm hearing some people don't get plum so much. I think Brad said he didn't get plum. I get the plum. I get that fruity plum in there. It says velvet plum. That is kind of it's velvety a little bit too. Not quite as velvety as the velvet vanilla in here in the Velvet Cashmere Woods. That even has velvet in the name. But this, yeah, velvet plum, creamy sandalwood. Yeah, I get sandalwood. Yeah. Sandalwood. Now that I'm smelling it, it almost has a little bit of like, and I just now, this is hitting me. I'm getting a little bit of pencil shavings, which would be cedarwood, and I think Robin H mentioned that she gets cedarwood instead of sandalwood in this. I think this is the one she said that. So I can totally see what she's saying, because now all of a sudden I'm just getting the hint of like a pencil shavings type of smell, which would be cedarwood more than sandalwood. So yeah, man, I'm really getting pencil shavings out of this now. Why am I getting that all of a sudden? I didn't pick that up at all before. Now I'm totally getting pencil shavings. But yeah, I still get the plum, and then oak, white oak. Yeah, I could get a little white oak in there, a little oaky. It's really pretty though, but now I'm getting pencil shavings. Why am I getting that so much? I still like it though, it's really good. Really nice. I actually did 2 bars of this one because I got the bar in the whiff box. So I had one that we got out of the 10 bars that we bought, and then we had one for the whiff box, so I had 2 bars. So I thought, let me warm the whole 2 bars in our open concept area, because we usually do that because it's really hard to scent our open concept kitchen living room area with the vaulted ceilings in the living room. So I thought, let me do the whole 2 bars. So it was nice, really nice. It was a little on the lighter side, but not too light. I guess it did pretty good for the open concept, because it was out of 10 in the open concept. It was probably like I say 5.5, maybe creeping up to 6 a little bit. You know, part of me was thinking maybe I wish it was a little bit stronger, but I always, 9 times out of 10, I'm always thinking that. In the open concept, usually, I'm always wishing it was just a little bit stronger. But then if I warm that same scent in like a bedroom or something, it'll be fine in there for me. Because it always is just a little bit lighter in the open concept, which is why I typically don't test out scents in the open concept, because I feel like it's not fair, because of our vaulted ceilings, it's not going to be a fair assessment. So I always try to do new scents in the bedrooms and bathrooms. But like I said, since I had 2 bars, I thought if I have 2 bars, I maybe will try it in the open concept. I did have 2 bars of Emerald Pear Blossom as well, because we got a bar of that in the whip box as well, along with the September Scent of the Month. But I didn't do the Emerald Pear Blossom in the open concept. I just did that in the half bath. But yeah, so I say this may do, probably I'm sure it'll be stronger in the bedroom or bathroom than it was in our open concept, even with 2 bars. But it did decent for the open concept. I would maybe even try it again in the open concept, because I liked it in there. I could smell it. I did wish it was a little stronger, but I definitely think I would probably also try it in the bedroom again, because I'm sure it will be a little bit stronger. Although I have heard some people say it was light for them, even in like a bedroom size room. So I'm not sure how much stronger it would be overall in a bedroom as opposed to open concept living room area, but I still liked it. I liked it. Really pretty, really beautiful. I would have purchased this, and that is White Oak Woodland. All right, number 2. These top 2 are my favorites. So I warmed these, my top 2, number 1, number 2, I waited at the very end to warm, because I had the highest expectations for these last 2 and the highest hopes for these last 2. Well, I mean, I guess I would say 3, because White Oak Woodland was my favorite on cold. And then this was, I think, one of the first ones I warmed, was the White Oak Woodland. And then after that, I started warming all these other ones that were kind of like in the lower part, where the ones that I thought were just kind of okay. They were pleasant, but nothing I really wanted to repurchase. They didn't like wow me. They were just kind of like subtle background scents that just were kind of okay. So I think, I don't know so much about a lot of these, because a lot of those are that way for me. Until I got to these top 2. Totally redeemed this whole collection, because I was getting a little unsure about how I felt as a whole until these last 2, and I was very happy with these last 2. So number 2, Frosted Marshmallow. This is sparkling cinnamon, marshmallow, and buttercream frosting. Yeah, this was really good. So good. This, Squishy, come here. If you hear that dog growling, that is Squishy. Come over here. We have a new member to the family. Come here. Jump up here. Come here. This is Squishy. Say hi. Say hi. This actually was our son Marco and his fiance Lexi. It was their dog. But they just had their new baby, and they have a couple cats, and it just wasn't working out with the dog there. They weren't able to take it out as much, because they live in an apartment. They weren't able to take it out as much as she needs to be taken out. So they were thinking about rehoming her, so we thought we would try her and take her because she's so cute. She's so adorable. She's such a good dog. She's such a good dog. She's doing really good. We just brought her home yesterday. We took our grandson Grayson home because we've been watching him for them while they work. So because the previous person that was going to watch our grandson, they weren't able to watch him right now, so we're watching them for a while. And we took him home, and then we brought Squishy home. That's what they named her, Squishy. I need to ask them why they named it Squishy. I cannot remember why they thought of the name is Squishy, but that's what they call her. Anyway, so we brought her home. She's doing really good with the cat and with our dog Phoebe. Kind of worried about the cat because our cat Phoebe doesn't like a lot of other dogs or animals or people in general. Sometimes she like will go hide and she won't come around you, especially with other dogs. If the other dogs try to like go around her and play with her or whatever, she'll hiss at them. She doesn't like that at all. But Squishy's doing really good. She doesn't bother her at all. She doesn't even go near Peanut really. So there's been no problems there, and Phoebe's been doing good with her. They were just running around in the yard a little bit ago playing, so she's been doing good. She's just trying to get used to the whole place. She didn't eat yesterday, but she's finally eating today. I got her to eat this morning, so that's good. So anyway, that is the new member. She's a cutie. Alright, where was that? Frosted marshmallow. Sparkling cinnamon marshmallow buttercream frosting. Yeah, it was good. I had this going in the bedroom, master bath, the whole bar. Oh, it was so nice. It just filled up that whole area with the nice buttercream frosting. That marshmallow was in there, but that cinnamon's in there too, but it's definitely a bakery cinnamon. It's not red hot cinnamon or anything like that. It's that bakery, you know, ground cinnamon, sugary cinnamon type of scent. But on warming though, it gave me hints of frosted cinnamon roll. Frosted cinnamon roll that was the scent of the month, was a couple years ago. It's in my club. I love that. It had a little bit of a bakery note to me in here, that frosted cinnamon roll. Frosted cinnamon roll has that bakery roll type of scent. There was that little bit of a bakery. It was a bakery pastry type of smell in here to me. I don't know that I've heard a lot of people say that, but I totally got like a bakery pastry in here. It was similar to the bakery pastries note that I get in frosted cinnamon roll. Yeah. Oh, it was really good. And it reminded me of that, because on cold, I didn't pick that up so much that it reminded me of frosted cinnamon roll, but when I warmed it, I was like, I totally get frosted cinnamon roll out of this. And it's funny too, because when frosted cinnamon roll first came out, I didn't get that bakery cinnamon roll quite as much, but the more I warmed it, that came out, and now when I warm that, it just totally comes out, and I totally smell it, and I totally love it. I had that in here a little bit, not quite as much as that does, but it was in there. Definitely similarities to that. And I didn't pick up that bakery note on on cold as much. Even now on cold, I get it a little bit, because sometimes when you warm things and you go back and smell it on cold, you do pick it up, but you didn't pick it up the first time when you originally smelled it on cold. But when it warms, it really comes out, and I really liked it. Yeah, really nice. I will say it was really strong at first. I'd probably say a good like 8.5, and then after like a couple of hours maybe, it kind of died down and went to like maybe a 7 or something like that. So it was a real high intensity for the first few hours, and it kind of dipped a little bit after just like a couple of hours. So I thought, oh, that's kind of a bummer, because it was doing so good, and it was still doing good. I mean, a 7's still good, but it just dipped down. You know, I did notice a difference after a couple of hours in the strength of it in the throw. But yeah, overall though, really good. Really enjoyed it, and I would repurchase it again. Yes, I would. Definitely repurchase it. Probably not a club though for me, I don't think, because I have frosted cinnamon roll in my club, and it's kind of similar somewhat to me anyway. And yeah, I like frosted cinnamon roll better overall. I know some people, and I even said it reminded me kind of like a, what is it, cinnamon vanilla? Yeah, kind of. But this had that bakery note to me a little bit. And then number 1, my favorite of all of them, is Buttered Pumpkin Dream. This is warm chestnuts, buttered pumpkin spice, and rustic cedarwood. I can't remember what this was on my first sniffs. I want to say this was number 3. I think frosted marshmallow was my number 2, and then this was number 3, I think. Well, it bumped up to number 1 after I warmed it. God, those Sorry, I get sidetracked by the hummingbirds. Yeah, when I warmed it, I loved it. On warm, it was so good. I loved everything about this bar. Oh, I love it so much. So, butter pumpkin spice. I definitely get the buttery pumpkin. And I get the spice. You get the spices, which, you know, could be your clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, all that kind of stuff. Pumpkin spice. But it is a buttery pumpkin. Yeah, it's not really like a raw pumpkin guts type of pumpkin, but it's not like overly pumpkin spice pumpkin at the same time. It could maybe, if anything, lean a little bit more towards the raw pumpkin guts type of pumpkin, but it's not full on there. Also, I kind of thought the same thing with pumpkin honey. Was it pumpkin honey spice? Is that it? From the Harvest collection, which I loved. That one kind of did the same thing. It was leaned that way a little bit, but not fully, completely. Because usually when it's kind of like Very Berry Pumpkin, and what's the other one? There's a few other ones that have that raw pumpkin guts kind of smell. That's not usually, Everything Nice. Those usually aren't my favorite type of pumpkin scents, even though some people absolutely love those types. I know a lot of people love Everything Nice. That's just kind of okay for me, but it's not my favorite. But all the other pumpkins, I love. I love so many pumpkin scents from Scentsy. I love Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, even though that's not a great performer for me. I just cannot get that to throw very well, but I love it, what I can smell. Pumpkin Roll I like. Pumpkin Tiramisu. We got Pumpkin Cashmere. Pumpkin Cashmere. The Vanilla Pumpkin one. Marshmallow Pump. What is that one for that? Vanilla Marshmallow, all kinds of different ones. I love so many pumpkin scents from Scentsy. This is just right up there with me and my favorite pumpkin scents. But it just was so good when it started warming. I loved it. The chestnuts, warm chestnuts, I feel like that's in there a little bit, but it's not real strong chestnuts like some other chestnuts have been. It's not a real strong chestnut smell, but it's in there a little bit. Same with the rustic cedarwood. I feel like there may be just a little bit of cedarwood. I think maybe I get chestnuts a little more than cedarwood, but it could be just in there just a little bit to add a little bit something more to that butter pumpkin spice. But that pumpkin in there is just so good to me, and that spice and that butteriness. Also, there's a little bit of, people have said, and I totally agree, there's a little bit of like an orange smell in here. There's a little bit of a citrusy orange in here, but it works. I don't know if that's what makes it so good for me or something. I don't know, because I'm not like the biggest citrus fruity lover, but I don't know. It works for me, and I loved it. And it was strong. This was so strong. Immediately when I put it in the warmers, it just started throwing instantly. I say like 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. It was just, I mean, you couldn't get much stronger than this. It was just, I smelled it so strong. I filled up the whole entire upper level. I had this going in the bedroom, if I didn't say. Bedroom, half bath, the whole bar. It was coming out, filling up the whole kitchen, living room area, my open concept area. I could totally smell it. I went downstairs, came upstairs into the living room. It just filled the whole area upstairs. It was so good. It was just amazing. I was just loving it. Brad was actually in the shower when I put the wax in the warmers, and I put it in the warmers in the bathroom, and he's like, a couple minutes later, he's like, I can already smell that, and it smells amazing. So it's such a strong thrower right away. As far as longevity, I'd say it's not the longest laster. I do kind of wish maybe it lasted longer than it did. I'd probably say it's probably like maybe 12 hours, and it maybe did die down a little bit, you know, after like 3 to 4 hours maybe. It wasn't a 10 out of 10 that whole time. It did drop down. I mean, that just tends to happen. It will drop down in the strength, but I'd say it was a 10 out of 10 for at least a couple of hours. Then maybe went down to 9, then an 8, and then, you know, by the time I took it out of the warmers, it was probably like a 5 out of 10, just subtly there. Oh, maybe a little lower than that. And I took it out the next day, so we don't keep our warmers on 24/7 in the bedroom bathroom. I'll turn them off at night, and then I turn them back on the next day. When I turn them on the next day, it wasn't as strong as it was the night before. Sometimes that happens though too. I do feel like if you know, it's going really good, you'll turn off your warmers and you'll turn it back on like the next day, it doesn't quite gain that same momentum sometimes. That's kind of a bummer that happens, because I don't leave my warmers on in the bedroom because they're too bright. And I guess I could put element warmers in there so that I don't have to turn them off. Or, yeah, because the bulb warmers always have a light. So, or get a real one that has a real not bright light. Well, I like the 25 watt warmers because they throw better, so they're going to be pretty bright for the bulb warmers. But I don't typically like to have warmers on in the bedroom when I sleep at night either, because I just don't like it, because It makes my mouth dry. I feel like I can taste the wax. I just don't sleep well with the wax going on. I just can't sleep with wax in the bedroom when I'm sleeping. But so I have to turn the wires off. But it's a bummer. Sometimes you turn them back on the next day and they sometimes just don't quite gain that same momentum. Sometimes they do, but not always. But this, yeah, I just loved it. I loved it. I cannot wait to warm more of this. I want some more right now. This is going to my club for sure. This is one of the best performing pumpkin scents I think I've had. I really think it's probably the strongest pumpkin scent I've had, the best performer. Maybe not the longest laster, like I said, but it was so good for those first 3-4 hours maybe. God, it's so good. I loved this. Absolutely loved it. So that's my favorite. Butter Pumpkin Dream. It's going in my club. None of the rest are going in my club. Frosted Marshmallow, like I said, I don't think so. And then the rest, there's just the first. So, okay, to recap, Butter Pumpkin repurchase going to my club. Butter Pumpkin Dream. The Frosted Marshmallow, I would repurchase it. I don't think I'm going to put it in my club. White Oak Woodland, I would repurchase, but not club. The rest are not going to my club, so I don't even need to mention that. But Velvet Cashmere Woods, I would repurchase that. Old Fashioned Evening, maybe. Emerald Pear Blossom, maybe. I have 4 cubes left, so we'll see. Maybe, that's a maybe. I think the rest were no's, not a repurchase. Golden Sunflower Fields, no. Blanks of Love, no, not a repurchase. Lavender Woods, no, not a repurchase. I do have 4 more cubes of that, though. And then Wild Pine and Linen, not a repurchase. I have 4 cubes of that left, too. So overall, it was an okay collection until I got to the last 2. The Butter Pumpkin Dream and Frosted Marshmallow redeemed this whole collection for me. And then the White Oak Woodland I did really like too. Velvet Cashmere Woods. But the rest were just kind of Just, I don't know. I like last year's quite a bit better overall, because there was quite a few last year that I liked quite a bit, for me personally. But, yeah. I'm just really glad for the Frosted Marshmallow and the Butter Pumpkin Dream, because those to me were 100% worth it. I loved them. Alright, so like I said, these all go on sale this coming Monday, September 1st on our website, or your consultant's website. So I'll list our website right here, and I'll also be in the link in the description below if you're interested in purchasing any of these. And then the Harvest collection comes out, as well as all the other fall catalog bars and warmers and all that stuff. Alright, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.